Oh man, are we heading for some more crypto pain? After a volatile 2 weeks on Bitcoin, we finally get a 5% green candle this week. Pepe moving to the upside, meme coins continuing to catch a pump, plus Fantom moving up 7% post the announcement from Michael Kong and the foundation. Loads to break down in this video and more. If you like this type of content, please do smash up the likes. Do not forget to subscribe, guys. Really does support this channel. And also, if you want to trade with this community, check out the first link in the description, direct into my Telegram trading community. Now, Bitcoin here sitting just above $70,000. But the question is, where are we heading from here? I'm seeing some signs that we could be heading for some more pain, some more consolidation, a bit more of a pullback potentially. But there is a saving grace, which I'm going to share with you as well. Now, before we do that, we need to understand what's been going on, right? If you just jump back a handful of candles ago, weekly candles here, Bitcoin had a big 22% candle, right? Starting at 51,000, finishing at 64,000. Really, really powerful. We then followed that up with another 9% week, right? Then you had 2 crazy volatile weeks. Now, when you look at this, is it any surprise? Is looking at that structure of a chart pattern a surprise? It shouldn't be. Because what was I saying throughout this period? When you get candles like this, think about it. Let's because remember, you guys know I like to take the candlesticks and paint the narrative, the story over the top of it, because each candlestick is a story. So you know that in these weeks, Bitcoin caught crazy pumps. When Bitcoin catches a crazy pump, what happens? Everybody starts talking about Bitcoin. Your Uber driver, your barber, your colleagues at work who weren't interested throughout the bear market suddenly knock on your door and say, hey, do we need to get back in now? Is Bitcoin going to go? Is it going to go to 100K? Is it going to go to 100K? And what is that? That is FOMO. But with every bout of FOMO, what do you get? You get an increase in the number of leverage longs in the market. Leverage enters the market. Now, in order to counteract that leverage, guess what happens? The people who think they're a little bit smarter go, oh, look, I'm so smart. A bunch of leverage is going to come in the market. I know what to do. I'm going to short them. But I'm not just going to short them. I'm going to short them with leverage. So this creates a recipe for volatility. And that is what we've experienced in these last couple of weeks. We had to flush out the leverage longs. We then flushed out the shorts. That's why you get these crazy wicking candles where leverage was getting wrecked on both sides. The people who were greedy for Bitcoin to go up got wrecked. Then the people who were greedy to short them from the top got wrecked. But that's really, really healthy. Once you flush out that leverage and you actually flush it out and funding rates start to become normal again, you now prepare yourself for another leg up because you've flushed out the leverage. And now that those, speculating hands are out of the market, you could set yourself up for some more powerful candles, okay? So that the reason I wanted to highlight that was it's really important that we do flush out leverage. Very, very important. So if we drop this down into the daily candles now, let's take a look at what patterns we're forming here on Bitcoin. You know we're in this rising wedge. We fell to the downside. We broke from that. We then entered our little triangle. We had our little fake out. Let me just jump into the 4-hourly so you can see it a little bit clearer. We were in this triangle, broke down, and now we're in another consolidation triangle. This whole period here, from the 25th of March, it's almost a week now, almost a full week now here on Bitcoin, is consolidation. It's sideways. It's boring. People aren't interested because remember, what did I just say? People were rushing to this market because somebody told them that the bull market was back and it's exciting, and they just saw the 22% week on Bitcoin, they saw the 9% week on Bitcoin, and they wanted to come in. But now, having flushed out all that leverage, we need to consolidate. Now, the question is going to be, can we break this pattern to the upside, right? Can we get a nice breakout to the upside? That's what we're looking for here on Bitcoin. Hold up. Do you want to learn how to trade? Then you need to jump into our Telegram community. Link is in the description. In our Telegram community, I share my altcoins. I share how I do my trade setups, how I do my stop losses and take profit, so you can learn to become a profitable trader. Check it out. Link is in the description. Can we break this to the upside, retest, and start working our way back up? Because remember, what is it we need? Let me just get you back to the daily chart. What is it we need in this pattern? We need a higher high, right? Look at this pattern. Look at this pattern. We created this peak. We created this higher low. Now, what do we need? You need a higher high. It's very, very important that on this leg up here on Bitcoin, let me get a thicker brush for you guys so you can see. On this leg up, you can work your way up, get a higher high, then you can come down, no problem, create another higher low, and you can start continuing to trend yourself upwards, okay? That's what we want here on Bitcoin. We do not want to curl over. If we fail here on Bitcoin to create the higher high, the scenario we are then getting is this. There's your high, there's your low, you fail, you curl over, and what do you notice when that happens? You're forming another triangle, right? You're forming a really, really big consolidation triangle, which goes here and here, right? And you end up just consolidating for a period of time here on Bitcoin. So really important that if we want to keep the upwards momentum here on Bitcoin, in order to keep the upwards momentum, we have to do this. We have to break out like this little drawing here, and we need to go and get above this peak, touch above the all-time high we just created at that 74,000 level. We got to break above that. If we don't, we could be consolidating for longer here. And if we are, you guys need to get ready for some more pain. If we cannot break 74 right now, you guys have to be prepared for 64,600, because if it's forming a triangle, that's naturally where it's going to want to create its higher low, right? That's where it's going to want to curl over and show some support here. Or failing that, if the triangle breaks down, then you need to start calling for 60,000 again, right? I mean, you can see these candles here are bounced perfectly at the top of this red box, which is 71.8k. So are you prepared for 71.8k? Are you then prepared for 60,000 below? I know I am. At those levels, I want to be buying the dip. That's exactly where I'd want to be buying the dip. Now, we can also pull out our EMA ribbon to give us some structure, and you will see that this is exactly a consolidation, right? Just like I described there with the candlesticks, we're consolidating sideways into our EMA ribbon. Now, that's okay. You can even argue it's okay to come downwards into your EMA ribbon, but we're showing so much strength here on Bitcoin that it doesn't really even want to currently just come deep into the EMA ribbon. Remember, on the daily EMA ribbon, all the way down to 61.5, and you still hold your daily EMA ribbon bullish. So for me, any price points here into the EMA ribbon, 64, 63, 62, down to that 61.5, I'm a buyer. I'm nibbling, I'm DCAing. Remember, I don't want to chase green candles. I don't want to be buying when it's extended up here, too far from the EMA ribbon. These are nice buys, right? These are nice buys in the EMA ribbon. And again, if we want to come back down in, great. If we don't, and we want to break and create a higher high, fantastic. We'll take the good with the good there as well. Now, it's important to get an update on what we're seeing in the market, right? If you take a look at the market, still, meme coins continue to be a hot narrative. I mean, Pepe continues to do well. Dog with Hat continues to be doing well. Floki continues to be doing well. We know that people are speculating. They want to come into this market to make money. Now, whether that's right or wrong, whether that's what you're doing, whether that's your strategy, the reality is you have to be aware of what the dynamics are in this market. This market right now has bullish intent. You can jump over to here to the crypto fear and greed index. Despite the volatility I just showed you, the market is still in greed. It's still at 75, and we've not seen anything less than greed for multiple weeks on end now. Okay, so it may be that we're due a pullback into neutral territory. What would that pullback look like? Are we prepared for it? I mean, if you jump on over to the weekly chart, I mean, God forbid, right? People were crying in the last couple of weeks on these candlesticks. Imagine we get a proper pullback all the way down into our EMA ribbon at 51,000. That will separate the men from the boys, wouldn't it? Because we know a lot of people will be panicking. If Bitcoin decided to have a couple of negative weeks and come down here to 51, man, oh man, all those greedy people who are jumping into meme coins and FOMOing in here at the peak of the candle at 74,000, they're going to feel it. Because guess what? If you were buying Bitcoin at 74,000 at the peak and you end up, and this ends up correcting down here to 51,000, you're 30% down. But guess what? I'm nibbling there. I'm nibbling at a 30% discount whilst you're getting wrecked by 30% because you bought in at the top. And that is why it's so important that you do not chase green candles. You buy from positions of support. Even if you bought from this candle collapse here, I mean, look at this. If you bought at the peak of this candle just the week before versus the bottom of the candle the following week, that's a 17% roughly differential. Just between these two candlesticks, at the peak of one candlestick versus the bottom of one candlestick, which just goes to show you that you've got to be prepared for this market to pull back and you've got to buy from position of strength. If you're the person that keeps buying at the wicks of the candles, you're going to get wrecked. You want to be buying on the pullbacks. That 17% difference every time you DCA makes a huge difference to your cost basis, right? When you're accumulating a long-term portfolio. So it's really important that we understand that, hey, if this wants to come down here to the weekly EMA ribbon at 51, I'm personally nibbling. I would love to buy Bitcoin right now at 51,000. For me, that would be an absolute bargain, given what we know about this market right now. Let's also touch upon Fantom, guys. If you have not seen my blockbuster interview with Michael Kong, make sure you go watch that. Big interview dropped with Michael Kong. A big pivot by Fantom. I don't want to spoil the narrative for anybody that hasn't watched the podcast. Go and watch it. Like, I would not have predicted this is the route Fantom was going down. They're making a huge change, a fundamental change, and it's splitting opinion. I mean, I'm going to make a separate video on this, but it's splitting opinion. Some love it, some hate it, some are confused, some are worried about what this means for the Fantom holdings longer term. Andre Cronje continues to come out and back it and say this is going to be huge. Michael Kong, of course, is saying the same. This is a major pivot for Fantom, coming at a major point in the bull market. Are they going to mess this up? Are they going to pull this out of the bag and have a really powerful bull market? Go watch this podcast to understand exactly what Fantom are planning for the next few months and beyond. Really important that you go catch and watch that. That being said, you can take a look at the price action, and the price action is showing us 7% in the green today. But that doesn't tell you the full story. I mean, of course, last week, Fantom rocketed up 25%. I mean, it's been crazy. It's had a crazy month here. If you just take that month here on Fantom, take it from that candle to the peak of that candle, you ran up as much as 200% in 4 weeks on Fantom. Insanity. And this is why I remind you that when you are investing in altcoins, you do so in a diversified manner. See so many people still trying to time from Bitcoin and then sell their Bitcoin perfectly and then get into altcoins. You're setting yourself up to get wrecked. These are the beautiful moments that you look at your portfolio like, look, it's Fantom season. Look, it's now Solana season, which is why it's so important to have a diversified portfolio. Anybody who tells you they can time it perfectly between altcoins is chatting complete cap nonsense and making stuff up. Now, that said, Fantom is having a red week this week, down 5.7%. Again, a lot of uncertainty around the announcement, around what's going on. But if you look at the daily EMA ribbon, you can see a bit of a bounce. If we're looking at just sheerly the technical analysis, you are seeing a bullish engulfing candle printing today. This is a bullish candle. If you've taken my TA course, ijazcrypto.com/TA, you'll recognize this as a reversal candle. If this candle can close where it is now, that sets it up for a nice chance to bounce. You want to see it bounce from the CMA ribbon. But again, remember, technicals aren't everything. If people start panicking or start getting worried about the announcement that Michael Kong made, you could see this curl over. If people get excited about what is being announced and we get some more clarification around what's being announced, maybe we could see this bounce really powerfully and start creating higher highs, pushing towards $1.25. But it's very interesting what's happening, and you need to go watch that video, because if you're a Fantom holder, it's critical that you watch that podcast from the start to the end. So there you have it, guys. A volatile week coming up here for Bitcoin. We also have a labor week, so the macroeconomics will provide JOLTS figures. We're going to get the non-farm payrolls on Friday. That could spook the markets as well. Very important that we pay attention to those to find out if we're going to be any closer to a rate cut. Remember, if we just zoom out, this year is a powerful year. We got a Bitcoin halving, we got a Bitcoin spot ETF, we've got excitement in the market. But on top of that, inflation should start coming down, and we should start seeing our first set of rate cuts. Remember, we're expecting 3 rate cuts this year. And historically, when we see those rate cuts, we know that the Fed are our friends again. Central banks will start printing again. They will start softening and loosening their monetary policy, which allows more money to flow into the ecosystem. And we have more money flowing into the ecosystem that has always proven itself positive for Bitcoin. So I'm certainly locked and loaded, ready for this market after the horrible bear market we've been through, where Sam Bankman-Fried has just been, sentenced to 25 years in prison. We went through that. We went through what Do Kwon did with Terra Luna. We went through 3 Hours Capital and Voyager and Celsius. We went through the crazy interest rate hikes, the steepest one we've seen in a very long time. Horrible inflation figures. We went through all of that. But now, things are starting to emerge a lot more positive, and I'm certainly not going to be shaken out by this market. Even if Bitcoin wants to pull back down into 60, pull back down into 50, I know I've got conviction. I'm not going to panic sell. I'm going to be nibbling some more. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you appreciate the content, smash up the likes. Do not forget to subscribe. You've got to hit that subscribe button, guys. Let's get us to 20,000 subscribers. I'm making content for years here, and I don't do it for the subscribers, but at the end of the day, why did I start this channel? To combat the moon boys. And if I cannot get you guys subscribed and watching this, and people continue to fall prey to these moon boys who just say, oh, Bitcoin's going to 150,000, buy now, then I'm not doing my job. My job is to save these people. There's new people born into crypto every single day. We're entering a bull market. Let's get them subscribed. Let's get them understanding the reality about what's going on in the charts and the macroeconomics. And you guys can support that by liking, by subscribing, and making sure that people discover this channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.